Hello, everybody, and welcome to Everyday Convos. I'm your host, Jersey Mike, and today we have a special guest. Well, we have several special guests with us today. First of all, I would like to introduce my special co-host, Brother Rob Johnson. He is the director of Southside Community Development Alliance. Good to have you with me, with us today, Brother Rob. Thank you for filling in.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, speak closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you, brother.
All right,
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also with us today, a very special guest. I'm glad this brother reached out to me, him and his wife. They are the owner and operator of eChalet.com. Is a health, wellness, and beauty brand. They have several books, authors of wellness and health, and we're going to get into the coronavirus topic as well, and they also written a book on that as well. And here with us today is the brother Senna Sheberry. Did I pronounce that right, brother?
Yes, sir. That's
all
right.
And his lovely wife Aquila Sheberry. All right. Thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So before we get into all that, let's start from the beginning. Basically, your upbringing. Where you was born and raised, and on up into how you got into your field that you're in now.
Okay. 39 years old. Was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Basically moved down to Virginia when I was about 20. I've been down here ever since. I had various jobs. I've driven a tractor trailer. I've worked in factories operating a forklift. I used to work at the jail. I worked at how can I word it? A mental health facility.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna put it like that. BCBR.
Oh yeah. I know you mean. I know what you mean. Why you say
exactly.
mental health? Yeah.
The nut house.
Right.
So did my stint over there. Then, like I said, worked at the jail as a prior law enforcement, and then from that, helped out in my man Kenny's shop at the Healthy Living, and I had a car accident, like when I was working at the jail, that kind of changed the trajectory of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the health and wellness before, while I was working at BCBR and at the jail. So I've been on that path for a minute, but it forced me to basically have to focus on it because my accident gave me a concussion and a herniated disc in my neck, and I'm not supposed to be walking right now, apparently, by some of the doctors.
Right.
And they wanted to do surgery and all that, and that ain't really my style. I'm here. I'm okay. I can walk. I used to stutter. Brother Rob saw me when I, beforehand, and then he seen me like after the accident.
Yeah. So backtrack before. So when you got into this accident, and you denied the surgery, you didn't want to go through surgery.
Right.
You just basically healed on your own, or you did some type of.
Well, I ain't gonna front like I did something special at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was shook. I ain't never been through a depression a day in my life, like ever. That was the first time in my life I actually experienced a depression, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know it was happening because I was in it. I had a concussion at the same time, so my mind state was like literally altered. I was jacked up.
Right.
As far as my physical fitness, I was real fit back then when I was working at the jail. So I will attribute me not having sustained worse injuries to my level of physical fitness at the time. And my diet wasn't, it wasn't where it needed to be, but it was good enough that, it gave me a foundation where other people might not have one. Like I wasn't as worse off. So, I just kept eating what I knew to eat and, kept learning from there. Like I like to do a lot of research, kind of little egghead. I might not remember all the details with stuff sometimes, but I like to fact check a lot, especially if I'm going to introduce some foreign substance to something in my body. So, yeah.
Right. All right. So from there, you I guess you did some more research on eating and other healthy ways of building yourself up?
Well, yeah. I give you the short version.
Go ahead.
Basically, you know, a couple of years after, my accident and everything, I met my wife, and meeting her changed the trajectory a little bit more because she was into the same stuff. We had mutual ideas about living and healthy living at that. And she was studying to be a naturopathic physician, and she was already a detoxification specialist when I met her.
Okay.
You already were certified through that when I met you.
Certification.
Oh yeah, she was.
Level
Oh yeah, you was studying to be a jurist then, wasn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my bad. All right, look, she was already an Aboriginal physician.
Okay.
You understand? So that's that part in a nutshell. She there's some literature written by a brother named Dr. Ali Muhammad, and that literature was eye-opening, to say the least. It gets down to the core of what's wrong with Aboriginal or African American or Black or carbon-based people. Those of us with melanin. So we get down to the core issues of health as to like what affects us all on this planet. It don't matter where you at. It's
right.
One thing, really at the root of us being sick. So, I found that out, and I modeled my life around health and wellness anyway. So, it just put me on a more perfect path, so to speak.
Okay. So growing up, you wasn't influenced by this by somebody on the outside, like your parents. They
My
didn't
dad,
basically.
all right. So my dad, not the picture perfect, of health, but he had a Jack LaLanne juicer. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, so
I remember those.
yeah, and he still got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He still got it.
Yeah,
And
George Foreman grills and a Jack LaLanne.
yeah, you catch the grease. At the time you don't know it, so you think you're eating healthier. So
Yeah.
my dad had Back to Eden books and all of that. So yeah, I was always around that influence from my father. My mother not so much as far as from healthy, eating. Like, don't get me wrong, both my parents influenced me. But as far as health,
Right.
my mom ain't really had nothing to do with that. She fed me what she knew to feed me, kept me alive, all of that. I love her for it.
Yeah.
But my father, he'd juice apples, carrots, spinach, broccoli, whatever, back then.
Right.
Celery, hell, we do celery juice now. So
Yeah.
it's it's his influence that really got me to pay attention to eating for your health, for your wellness, and not necessarily for your taste buds and your ignorance.
Right. I mention that because my father as well too had that same impact on our lives as well. Growing up, before him and my mother got together, he was on that path, and so when he met my mom, he introduced my mom into like healthy eating and stuff like that in that nature, and then we just kind of grew up in the household to an extent. Every now and then we always eat the wrong things,
Sure.
but for the most part, he tried to keep us in the mind frame of eating healthy, staying away from certain foods and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, it's and from meeting my wife, we obviously we got married, and constructed a company, built around sharing the information that she done learned and I've learned, like I said, from Dr. Ali Muhammad, through Aboriginal University. That's where she got her certification from. He's the founder of that as well. What's the name of the book? Indigenous Food Science book? Yeah. So Indigenous Food Science book is a book that is basically telling you what's wrong in your body and how to eat in order to cure, stuff like that. Everything is, well, I don't even want to get into the nitrogen part yet. So yeah, we'll leave that for a little later. Yeah, that's about it in a nutshell, brother. We started Eshalations.com back in what, October?
Yes.
Yeah, we started that in October. We started Eshalation Publications basically around February.
Okay.
So we cranked out, I think, about 15 books. Everybody can go to howtoguidemarketplace.com and look up Ixchelation Publications. That's IXCHELATION Publications.
Okay.
When you get to howtoguidemarketplace.com, and then you will see how to survive coronavirus pandemic 5G, and you will see Detox Your Life. You will see a lot of books that we made, but
Right.
those are the two most definitely that people need, to actually read now and pay attention to,
Okay, great.
so they won't, panic and be quite so sick.
So,
That's the hope anyway.
Mr. Quilla, tell us a little bit more about the company as well, your whole brand and how it can basically help individuals, live a healthier and beautiful lifestyle.
Okay, yes. Like I said, I got my my background from Dr. Ali Muhammad. He goes out and he pretty much shows people how to eat to live. He reverses diseases, and he's taught us that as well. So that part of the brand is what we do. We definitely do holistic healing. A lot of people are afraid to say that for some reason, but we use food to help them do that, and we actually help people understand what types of food they eat. So a lot of times we'll go to holistic practitioners that are based in the European model, and that European model will have them eating things that are pathogens to our bodies. So we help correct that and get them on the right path with that. So that's one part of the brand. The another part of the brand is Livens Health. So we have our yoni steaming, or vaginal steaming. That the same thing, European-based mindsets have got us steaming with the wrong type of product. Like we're steaming with mugwort. It really doesn't work so well with our bodies. So what we do, we introduce Aboriginal remineralization of the vagina, and so we actually help put and feed the body what it needs. And with the certain way that we do it, they actually benefit a lot faster. They get results a lot faster because their body's able to respond to it correctly. So that's another part. We do the beauty part. That's more or less my husband's creation, is all the different, smell goods and stuff that he has over there. You might want to tell them more about that. So.
Yeah, I just get to play chemist. That's all.
Yeah.
Like I researched and figured out certain stuff. So we got hormone therapies in the bottle. Like my brother Rob over here, I know he heavy with the oils.
Yes, he is.
But I'm heavy with the oils too, and what I mean by that is the essential oils and things that I utilize. I understand the components that's in them, so then I'm able to combine them and have them become useful for certain things, like testosterone production, like progesterone production in women. That's something that's heavily needed because we eat a lot of the wrong foods and our testosterone fall off quickly.
Yeah.
What is it, DHEA or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, our state of health as men, would decline. If your testosterone production going down, your health is declining.
Exactly.
So just to be able to formulate something that you can put on and it boosts your testosterone back up, and you can prove it, like when you wear it, trust me, you will know it. I keep it PG for the podcast, but you will know it when you put it on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I enjoy doing.
Explain some of the foods that we're accustomed to eating all the time that we shouldn't be eating.
All right, the first one. Oh, let me say this real quick.
Go ahead.
We are a subsidiary of Aboriginal Medical Association as well. Like, so everything's 100 legit. This is real life medical stuff that we're dealing with. It's just foreign to a lot of people because their medicine is in their cabinet, or their medicine is in a fridge, or their medicine is in their yard.
Right. And
they're not used to that. You know what I'm saying? So getting to the food, the mushrooms, I can't help it. Most people, on my Facebook, I don't consider myself no guru or nothing like that. I don't think my wife does neither, but she's a master at health, at what she knows.
Right.
You understand? So when we start talking about mushrooms, you get a lot of kickback from people that's following, the Sebi diet, or just people that's used to doing things a certain way for a long time, and you kind of can't teach them new tricks.
Right.
So they think they know everything. You can see the state of somebody's health if you're trained in it just by looking in their face. Your face will tell on you. So you can tell if somebody's liver shot. You can tell if somebody's kidneys is tired. You can tell if their adrenals is like lethargic.
Okay.
You can tell if their stomach is backed up, or well, not their stomach, but their intestines. So mushrooms is definitely something that we advocate that people stay away from. Period. If you black or aboriginal, indigenous, carbon based, heavily melanated, whatever you want to call it, stay away from that. It don't have a seed. It does not have a leaf. It's not a vegetable. It's a pathogen. We stay away from yeast too, as much as we can. So that's the unleavened bread thing, because yeast again is a pathogen. There's no such thing as nutritional yeast.
Right.
Not for you. How they make beer?
Out of yeast.
Okay, so yeast has the ability to, well, all the pathogens, but especially yeast. What it does is infect or invade, and then it colonizes. So that means it spreads out. It multiplies. So when a land gets invaded and they colonize it, we end up in the state of duress that we in now. So what you think happened on the inside of your gut with that same thing going on? It's going to, fatigue your state of health. It's going to be worse off. You got some more foods you want to add?
Dairy and cheese. Black people, we can just stay away from that. It would benefit us a lot. Because with dairy, what we don't understand is that 75% of our diseases start off with the endocrine system. Dairy is a huge factor of that. Dairy and white sugar, like for instance, I'm hearing an uptick in thyroid issues with women. And what we don't understand is that thyroid is hugely affected by dairy and refined sugar. Refined sugar has a lot of lead in it, We breathe viruses in all the time when we're just walking around. But when those viruses get activated by what we call ligands, it usually because they have a food source. When we eat refined sugar, that refined sugar goes down to the liver. And the liver says, I see a toxin. Your liver saves you every day, So the liver holds that toxin in. And then when it has a virus come, the virus, the first place it likes to go to is hang out and harbor in the liver. And it multiplies because it has heavy metals in there to eat. So when we are women and we're up at a restaurant, we're going to eat a dessert or something, they're using refined sugar in that kitchen, So we're eating and we're giving it stuff to feed off of. The same thing with medications. We're giving it stuff to feed off of. So there's one thing. So that virus will then leave from that area and travel up to the thyroid, parathyroid, and different areas of the body using the lymphatic system. So then we have an issue with the parathyroid going down. Same thing with dairy. The parathyroid will go down, then we can't utilize calcium. When we can't utilize calcium, then we go through things like depression. We'll go through broken veins. We'll have hemorrhoids, hernias. You have connective tissue that's not able to stay up, we'll have prolapses, if that makes sense. Okay. And so we'll have these things not knowing, like, okay, what's going on with us? You go to your doctor and they'll say, oh, your calcium levels are low. You're pretty much leaching from your bones because your diet is too acidic. That's what we don't understand. The doctors don't tell you that. But the reason why is because you have an endocrine system issue. So you'll have the thyroid not producing correctly, is not secreting, is either hyper or hypo. The parathyroid's got the same thing happening. It's either, underactive a lot of times because you're clogging your body up with that dairy. And that dairy has hormones, it has steroids, it has all kinds of things that affect us. And it clogs us up, and it'll clog that parathyroid up too. All
right. Hate to cut you off right there,
but
we have to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Everyday Convos. All right, we're back. Welcome again to Everyday Convos, and with us again, we have the brother Senna and his wife Quilla. And we were just about to get into the whole coronavirus thing. During break, Brother Rob had an interesting question. So, Brother Rob, go ahead. I'm gonna leave it up to you now.
All right, thank you, Mike. Yeah, what I wanted to talk about was just a simple explanation is what is a virus, not just coronavirus. What is a virus?
Okay. The simple explanation for that is it should be relatively easy. It's about your DNA is a code. You know, if you're written out of DNA, you got a specific code. A virus is a piece of a code that's foreign to your body. Some people call that a xenobiotic. You know, anything that's foreign to your body, you know, and you take it in like that, it's a xenobiotic. It's foreign to your life. So that virus is going to infect the cells that your body has and rewrite the coding to function as it wants them to, not as your cell is supposed to function. So the way that it does that is what is it? The ligands, it interrupts, and it has like a protein code or
Yes,
something.
protein coding. It interrupts it through the signal transduction of the cell. So it interrupts like, let's imagine a cell has a little radio.
Right.
So he comes in and he scrambles the message and says, I'm taking over now. So it's just a hostile
It messes
takeover.
up the frequency.
Yeah. And so the cell can't talk.
They
Right.
like to say it allows them in,
Yeah.
but it disrupted the signal
Yeah.
So now, what
and
are,
invaded.
what are some of the effects when this starts to happen when you get invaded that way?
Well, your cells get taken over, so they become a factory for the virus.
Yep.
Okay.
So the virus is dead. Let's understand this from that standpoint. No virus on the planet, by the definition of what a virus is living. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I don't care how much money they make. I don't care about their certifications. Every single last virus on this planet is dead. It has to become activated by something inside of you. What is it? A ligase. The ligands that are attached on the virus become activated by the ligase. So if you deactivate the ability of the ligand to turn on, then the virus is no longer an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you have to say, well, how do you deactivate it? And that's when you talk to us.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna be reckless, and you know, I will do what I saw Brother Dr. Ali Muhammad do. He didn't really give away the formula per se, because if you don't do it right, you can harm yourself.
Right.
But y'all can go to his website. Was it Aboriginal Medical Association.com, and y'all can get was it Viral Stop? And the Viral Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he calls it.
Yeah, we make one too, but you know, Amazon, they messing around with the shipments. So, you know, they got a brother on hold.
Yeah.
But if I get it, I'll let people in Isolation Conversation know, you know, and we'll sell it too. It's a Viral Destroyer.
Okay.
But the function behind it is it simply disrupts the ability of the ligand to become active.
Okay.
It's almost like oxygenation therapy. So if y'all want to try to, you know, figure that out at home, go ahead.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask you about is, I know a lot of times the condition that your immune system is in can kind of determine how bad the virus actually beats you up once it attacks you, like basically what we're going through now.
Sure.
So what I wanted to ask you was, I know a lot of times we don't have the additional money to make certain purchases and that type of thing because of the restrictions in the budget and a variety of things. But I know too that a lot of times we have medicine, as you said, in the closet and in the spice rack. And what I wanted to do was to get you to talk a little bit about the common things that we normally have within the house. You know, we were talking earlier, the turmeric, the ginger, the garlic, the
Sure.
the lemons, and the limes. So would you talk about that a little bit for us?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, something like turmeric. You know, the body loves turmeric, especially the liver. So those are like some of your viral killers. You got your lime juice. Lime juice is great for the calcium carbonate that's in it. Like, we need those minerals to try to either, one, attach to a toxin so it can pretty much escort it safely out of your body, or to replenish the body with, say, calcium. You know, the lime also helps to do like a soft scrub on the organs. So when you have that mucoid plaque buildup in the small intestines, it helps kind of scrub that out. You know, so because that's nothing but like, imagine the mucus plaque in the small intestines is like putting Elmer's glue on your hand, letting it dry, and keep doing it over and over again until you have this thick buildup.
Okay.
So what the lime does is it goes in there and it does a soft scrubbing.
Loosens it up.
Yeah, right. So we don't use stuff like alcohol. Alcohol is just too much.
Now,
you know?
how do you inject that into your diet to begin using the lime?
You can take, something every morning when you wake up with some water.
Yeah,
Was
2
it like
ounces.
Just
of
fresh
a
squeezed lime juice.
tablespoon or
2 ounces.
2 ounces with an 8-ounce glass of water?
No, 2 ounces of lime juice with warm water, and the warm water should be about like 4 to 6 ounces, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
want to dilute it too
And
much.
you just do that one time a day,
Yeah,
once a day?
and people who have a really, really like badly coated small intestines where they're really not getting much nutrients, then we add a little bit, like another 2 ounces of apple cider vinegar. We only do that for 2 weeks because that is too astringent. You see what I'm saying? But it's enough to go in there and get that job done.
And that'll hurt their bones. Too,
Yeah,
long
it'll
time.
leach after a while.
Right. So I'm a 100-ounce a day according to the formula that I use. Half your weight in water.
I see.
So I do. Now, am I doing something dangerous if something that might be harmful to me? I have included the lemon, not the lemon, but the lime, into my daily drinking water.
No, that's great. You need
So
it.
it's not too much.
Nah,
Yeah,
you need
need
any citrus
citrus.
fruit. Well, not any, but any original or carbon, citrus for the rest of your life.
Yep.
The calcium carbonate in lime is real good. The hydrochloric acid in lemon juice is real good. Bergamot has its benefits. Grapefruit especially has benefits. All of this stuff is great for your liver. And if it's great for your liver, it's great for your immune system because your liver is your immunity.
Now I was reading, I guess a couple of days ago, and it actually was saying that the number one cause of death, number one, is dehydration. Do you agree with that? Or what do you think about hydrating the body? How often, how much?
I would say the number one cause of death outside of ignorance is probably lack of cellular respiration or lack of oxygen to the cell. That's probably a better way to say it.
Because the cell is dying, it's dehydrated because they're not drinking enough of the fruit water that it needs. All cells live off of glucose and fructose. You get that from simple sugars from raw fruit.
Right.
Our
Carbohydrate.
raw fruit consumption, especially as black folk, is low.
Okay.
Because the medical industry, they don't encourage you to do that. But they'll tell you to drink the solvent, which is water.
Right.
They'll carry anything else, universal solvent, but they don't teach you how to hydrate your cells, and you're eating at least 80% cooked food. So you're going to keep dehydrating yourself.
Hey,
So
are
that
you-
makes sense.
Are you saying a combination of the water with the fruit juice, or?
Just fruit juices alone. Like
Yeah.
you can put a little bit of water in there because
Okay.
water's a solvent, but you need simple sugars. You need to feed your cells.
So it's like the best water on the planet is real fruit juice.
Yeah. From plants.
Because it has all the minerals in it. Like my wife said, the solvent is the water. What's in the water is what your cells need in order to be properly hydrated. I did a water fast like a dummy. I did a water fast like for real, like what, 2 years ago or a year and a half ago? Yeah, December 2018. I did a water fast for 7 days. I actually didn't feel bad. I wasn't hungry, but it gave me gray hair. It actually started releasing stuff from my liver. And one of the things that happens when your body goes on a fast like that is it increases hydrogen peroxide, because I don't understand how to say it a different way, so I got to say it this way. It's kind of like oxygenating me at the same time, but it's releasing bad stuff from my liver at the same time.
Yeah, and when the toxins are released from the liver, the first thing the body does is says, I need to leach minerals from the bones or wherever it has to. And for men, it normally happens in the head. Yeah. You guys are go bald or go
LeBron.
white, because
Gray hair.
you'll have all the acids. Yeah, because you guys are not like women. Women, we have, especially in our child producing years, we have a period every month. So we're able to get rid of the toxins in a great amount in one shot. Y'all don't have a way to release those toxins. So the toxin will go and search for it, and the first place it finds is up here in the head area because it's mineral rich. So does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Down to,
Yeah.
I never knew that. You know,
Yeah.
I never knew that. You know, being that women do go through that cycle,
Yeah.
y'all releasing all these toxins and.
Yeah, we don't
we're
release
still-
ours,
we're
so it's
still
like, where's it
tough
going?
to- Yeah.
Yeah, the only time that woman will experience symptoms like a man is when she goes through menopause. When that releasing of the toxins out of her body every month, all of a sudden now she's got a buildup and she has a problem now, and she's going to start having other issues, and she starts her decline real fast.
It's when the mood swings comes, the hot flashes, and all that
Exactly.
good stuff.
Yep. And she doesn't know that she needs to detox her body and to keep those acids, you know, to drink like herbal teas that'll start binding to the acid. She needs to drink way more like raw fruit juices and raw smoothies. She don't understand that. She's still eating her same diet she's been eating for the last 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And somebody put me on the coconut water one time, and I was like, "Oh, this is all right," but I never stuck with it, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they was like, "Yo, coconut water, you should drink it." That's
What's that
that's where
one
it's at.
brand? It ain't my brand. I wish it was. Harmless coconut water. Yeah, that's seems to be a real good one. You know, we got some equipment to test ourselves and stuff. So I've noticed my wife. I think she loved that stuff more than me, but it's not really giving us I guess a harmful reading. So you know, that looks like it's been beneficial. I just drank some.
Yeah.
What about 3 days ago?
Yeah. The one water that if you really want to rehydrate is cucumber water. Just take your cucumbers, do about 2 cucumbers, juice them with a green apple if you can't stand just cucumber by itself, and just do that every day. Do that every day for like a week. Your hydration numbers will jump up. You know, you can take a pH strip and just test your pee. You know, just pee on it and just see if it goes, if your pee goes from, let's say, a 5 on the pH level and start moving towards a 7, you know, a 6 or a 7. 6.5 is pretty acceptable, you know.
Okay. What should you be at?
We should be,
Yeah.
because we're a perfect balance of alkaline we're a good balance of alkaline, more or less. And then we have our acid side to us. Your pee should be somewhere around between 6.5 and 7, because we have acid and alkaline cycles.
Okay, so what? The higher the number, the better.
It depends on when you're testing, because we actually have acid alkaline cycles. You know, sometimes when you wake up, is around 7 o'clock in the morning. You just finished an acid cycle. You know, so then when you do the pee test, it might be around 6 something. Now, if you do it like later on that night, you might have gone through an alkaline cycle, and then your pee is like 7.1. You know what I mean? So it depends on what you're doing. But if you're a constant 5 dot something all the time, it's because of your diet. You see what I'm saying? So you're highly acidic. You know, so that at that point in time, you need to start eating more raw fruits and vegetables. Like we should be doing 80% raw, 20% cooked, but we got it backwards.
Yeah, definitely.
If people wanted to this afternoon go into the cabinet and find some things that they wouldn't have to go and purchase and just start sort of a makeshift type of regimen to help them out of this virus cycle that we're going through, what would you recommend they just take that they would probably have around the house, and how would they go about taking it?
I want to give him the liver detox right now.
Go ahead.
All right. So look, y'all, we got
What you about to get into?
the liver detox. The reason being,
Let's
that's
save
the
that.
immunity.
Let's save that.
All
'Cause
right.
it looked like you're gonna be long-winded on that one.
Nah. The formula not that long. For real.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely come back and touch more bases
All
on that right now.
We're going to hit a pause, y'all.
Yeah, definitely more to
Pause
come.
them too.
Stay with us. This is Everyday Convos. And we're back, people. Welcome back to another edition of Everyday Convos. And right before we ended our last segment, Brother Sinner was getting into detoxing, I believe, about the liver and everything. So explain more about that.
Yes, sir. The liver detox is a formula that I was going to give out because obviously nowadays, you know, with this whole coronavirus scare and just the state of health that most people are in, it'd be beneficial for them to know how to, you know, make something that's kind of easy to make and real beneficial to their liver. So if you got watermelon at home, I don't know how the hell you got it because, spring just started. But if you got watermelon at home, you got God's gift to your liver. But if you don't have watermelon at home, oh, by the way, I'm talking about watermelon with seeds, unless elderly, whatever, or don't want no more kids, then you can eat that. But other than that, don't touch no seedless watermelon. All right, so moving on. The formula is what? 1 gallon of distilled water, a pinch of cayenne. A pinch is however you want to figure out what a pinch is. How much milk thistle seed?
Yeah, I do a tablespoon.
A tablespoon of milk thistle seed. I say a thumb size piece of ginger root. If you can't find a ginger root like that, hell, just use the ginger powder. And a thumb size of turmeric root or turmeric powder. We went away. Yeah, from that, what am I missing in there? That's about it. 4 limes. Yeah, that calcium carbonate we was talking about in the other segment.
Okay.
So you quarter them, you quarter the limes, and then you throw all of that in a pot, and you bring it to a boil for about 20 minutes. And then after that, you strain off, the lime skins and the loose matter. The seeds, the milk thistle seeds. You strain that off.
Okay.
And drink a cup of that warm. And then every day, you drink some of that.
Okay. Oh,
it's gonna start to detox your liver.
A couple of days, or several cups throughout the day.
I'm a heavy hitter. I'll tell you drink 2 cups a day because it's nothing in that's gonna harm you. It's gonna detox your liver. Now the thing people need to understand about a detox, a real detox, if you toxic, meaning if you got some filth in your body that your body is harboring, and you say, "Well, I feel fine," that's because your body is used to the toxin. So you've become accustomed to not feeling at optimal health, even though you aren't aware of it. You might call it aging or life or whatever, but it's depleting you of your energy. You just don't know it.
Right.
So when you go through a detox, what happens is you suffer blowback depending upon how severe or how strong your detox is. So people experience symptoms and then they stop. They stop the detoxification process.
Yeah.
Heroin addicts call that a withdrawal. Well, any addict, you call that a withdrawal. People that drink coffee early in the morning all the time. You let Starbucks, damn, I didn't even think about that. Yo, it's going to be some murders just because ain't nobody got no damn coffee. Y'all laughing. I done been around folks that they got to have their coffee.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, caffeine is a drug. I think people forget that.
Strong drug.
Largest dope dealers on the planet is Starbucks. Like, they be on it, boy. Well, they might not be the largest, but you get the point. So, yeah, but, they bring that to a boil, drink a cup every day, and that should be sufficient to start to get their liver to, take the toxins out that been embedded in it. Is that, would you call that the appropriate thing to say?
Yeah,
to
it
purge
supports. It? Yeah, supports the liver. Yeah, and the liver likes those things. So it's like, okay, the turmeric and the ginger are all going to help me out with my bile production. It's going to help me out with detoxing the metals out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it's going to do. And the one thing, it's no need of doing that if you still going to be eating pork ribs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You can't clean up your kitchen and then throw the trash right back in the living room. Like you stupid at that point.
Yeah. And that's the thing about herbs. Everybody keeps thinking, oh, I can do the herbs. I can do the herbs is like a talisman. The herbs are not your end all be all. You've got to give the herbs something to work with. So you got the herb in there trying to do something when you have a crap diet and you're expecting the herbs to work. And then you say, oh, these herbs don't work. It's not that the herbs didn't work. You didn't work.
Yeah.
Some people do the herbal tea, and all they're getting from that is the herbal tea is going in and it's taking some of the toxins out. It's neutralizing some of the toxins, and it allows it for safe passage out of the body. That's it. That's all they're doing, but they're not remineralizing. You see what I'm saying? So they think their herbs are end all be all, and it's not.
Nah, it's several things that you got to do to
Yeah,
build your
and your
immune.
diet is huge.
Yeah. Fruit is the mainstay that people need to implement into their diet if they want to detox during this time. If you don't want to catch coronavirus, damn it, eat some fruit.
Yeah.
If you eating rice and beans, now I understand everybody, might not be financially capable, or they might live in a food desert. I'm just saying, regardless of any of that, if you've bypassed fruit, then you're going to miss the availability of what that fruit has in order for you to help your health.
Yeah, like for liver support, a bag of organic apples. Just get a bag of red apples,
Right.
and eat them.
That's $3.49.
You know what? I have a
Yeah.
problem
for a
with
bag
eating
of
apples.
apples.
I don't know why. Maybe
Yeah,
Are they
your liver
organic
loves
apples?
them. Yeah.
no, but just regular apples. I eat it.
Regular
and then
apples?
I guess the acid from it makes me.
Right, but here,
Yeah.
dig this.
Go ahead.
A regular apple is created with pathogens. They put that, basically now they don't even have to spray stuff the same way. They put it in the seed. So when it grow now, this ain't like 20 years ago. When it grow now from the seed itself, it'll mold quick. We just had a conversation about this, like a pink lady apple. You ever seen them?
Honey crisp. Yeah.
Or the
Lady
honey
apple.
crisp.
Yeah,
You seen
I've
them?
had that.
You bite that joint, it's juicy. Guess what? They made that joint in a lab in what? Minnesota? The University of Minnesota made that. If you get a pink lady apple, you'll see an R by it because it's all rights reserved. That's a
Yeah.
created apple.
Yeah.
You can eat your Granny Smiths, your
Yeah.
Gala apples, your
Macintosh,
Fuji's,
yeah.
those. But the other one is made with mold. It's made with spores. It's made. That's what you're allergic to.
Yeah.
You're not allergic to the apple itself. You're allergic to the pathogens, the
That's in it.
toxins that's in it.
The same way with peanut butter too.
Peanut butter is horrible anyway. Yeah, peanut butter
I
is.
started acting like real funny when I ate
Yeah,
peanut butter. I was
see?
like, oh,
Yeah.
this ain't
They're
right.
able to play with your food and not tell you about it.
Yeah, peanut
know?
butter is. Peanuts are legumes,
Yeah.
and they're not for black people to eat.
Yeah.
The easiest we didn't get into it, but that's nitrogen.
Mm-hmm.
Any plant that has nitrogen fixator roots
Yeah.
is pulling nitrogen out the soil and putting it into the plant. So that nitrogen is going to become something that scientists call part of the amino acids. That's not something your biology needs. You need something that's based out of carboxylic acids.
Okay.
So that's when your state of health starts to unravel, as soon as you start to intake nitrogen.
Yeah.
So that's around your environment, period.
Yeah.
But we have foods that don't have those nitrogen compounds in them.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to get back to eating. So when I mentioned indigenous food science about 2-3 segments ago, that's what that book gets into. That way you can walk outside, understand what's supposed to be grown, and start to implement that. Like apples is great, but the way that they make apples, they try to make it to where they growing it in nitrogenous soil, with fertilizer. Remember Miracle Grow?
Right.
Oh, it's a miracle. It grows. It makes it big. That's nitrogen. It's stressing the hell out the plant. That's why it's getting so big.
Yeah.
It's not something you were supposed to introduce to the soil.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Right.
yeah.
That's why you can't even mess with strawberries now. The way they make strawberries, where they made them humongous, that's a goitrogen now. It's going to mess with your thyroid
yeah.
because they're playing with the food.
Yeah, strawberries supposed to be these little tiny things that,
Sweet, yeah.
fit in between your fingers, like real
Yeah.
small. And you can eat
Yeah.
those. The goitrogenic foods, all cruciferous vegetables. So
Yeah.
that'll be your broccoli, your kale, your cauliflower.
These are
Just,
all artificial foods that
They're messing
they've been
with.
made,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not something that-
artificially made.
Right.
I might
yeah,
add.
it mess with your thyroid, and then that mess with your so-called metabolism, and then from that you unravel.
Talk about the recalls. Every time you hear a recall, no, that's them playing with the food. Like, tell them about the spinach.
Yeah, the spinach got it's grafted with like E. coli.
Yeah.
So from you eating that, now you bombarding your body with E. coli. Now you seen we done had this romaine lettuce outbreak 2 times in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And I eat romaine, she eat romaine all the time, but we buy organic romaine. The reason we buy organic romaine is because it's not grown the same way, from its inception. So that's they done messed up the food. Basically, it's biological warfare with your plate.
Yeah.
The easiest way to attack somebody is through ignorance. So if I can deceive you into eating something that you ain't supposed to eat, I got you.
Yeah,
You know?
like spinach. They'll tell everybody, eat your spinach, eat your spinach. Well, Savoy spinach is made with the E. coli. So what we tell people is do your wild spinach. wild spinach is the callaloo. You know, you'll go to Jamaican spots, you get the callaloo patties or something. So you got the callaloo spinach. You can get that in this raw form, right? In this raw form, and you got wild Malabar spinach or wild Egyptian spinach. So we still have those heirloom spinaches that you can still buy if you crazy about spinach. You know, we got what, dinosaur kale. If people like kale, like there's so much.
Yeah, I stay away from telling people about kale whatsoever.
You do?
Just damn it, don't even eat the kale. No. Just leave that crap where it's out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they try to like find different types. No, leave it.
The wild salads that grow here, I guess like the creasy salad.
Yeah, that's
called
banging.
Yeah,
That's
the poke salad.
Yes,
Poke
sir.
salads, yeah.
Right.
All of that's good.
And how do you identify those when you're going along beside the road? How can you tell those from just a common?
I'm 39, so I use tech, brother. I will for real. I identified. I got this little app on my phone.
You take a picture.
Yeah, I take a
Takes
picture.
a picture.
I ain't gonna lie to nobody.
Yeah.
What's
Wait,
the name
you
of
about
my
to tell
app?
you the app? Picture this, is it?
Where is it? Yeah, it's Picture This. And I downloaded that free, and I take a picture of the whatever the plant is or the flower, and they got extremely large database, and it clicks it up. It would benefit everybody to obviously learn horticulture, learn scavenging, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's what I use because I didn't grow up down here. I'll tell everybody something though. Even if you was in the city, they got something called Purslane that grow through the concrete, and that joint is heavy in iron, which is something else your body needs. It's a plant-based iron. It grow through the concrete. Like we found that in
At the storage unit.
at the storage units, bro. Like it might sound crazy to some folks, but like that's food. Them real herbs. That's the stuff you need. And the reason it was good to find it at the storage unit, even though cars be around there, it's growing in the rocks, and the rocks is where the minerals at. You don't need nitrogen in the soil. You need the mineral composition that the rocks or the mountains and the quarries, all that stuff, what they have. That's what make a plant really grow. So when you're going through like Tennessee or, Blue Ridge Mountains here or something, you see the trees growing up out the side of the face of the mountain. It's getting all the nutrients it wants. So that's a strong ass tree. Wow. We got mineral depleted food, and that's why something like coronavirus is able to come along and attack people. Coronavirus is really a misnomer or just an overall generic term. It's Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome is MERS. SARS is severe acute respiratory syndrome. And so now everybody is freaking out about coronavirus, but it's really just SARS. It's severe acute respiratory syndrome, COV-2, which just means your state of health was not good enough for you to, not suffer a respiratory illness from associated virus. And, people watch me, whatever, you see the air quotes. I'm not saying it's not a virus. I'm saying that that's probably just one half of what the real issue is. In certain places, I mean, people can go look this up right now.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I wanted to mention, to go ahead and just plug in some of the books that they can read and research on their own.
Okay.
And get into that, before we air out.
Okay. They can definitely go to the howtoguidemarketplace.com and check out our book, How to Survive a Coronavirus 5G Pandemic. And the reason I put the 5G on there real quick, 5G, the technology is awesome. But what 5G is essentially an ozone generator. If you brought an ozone generator in here right now and didn't allow fresh air to get through, we would all pass out. Because it's taking the oxygen, which is O2, and converting it into O3. That's science. That's not a conspiracy theory or nothing. That's what it does. So they call that air ionizing. Okay? So 5G ionizes the air, and O3 quickly dissipates. Just like we got an ozone layer, because the corona from the suns, the radiation converts the oxygen into ozone. That's how we end up with an ozone layer. So the same technology is in ozone generators. The same technology is in 5G. So it's causing a radiation bombardment. A radiation bombardment from 5G, literally, by definition, is causing a respiratory illness. So then they say, well, we've checked some of these people in Wuhan province where they dropped 5G first in China, and we've noticed that they have a respiratory illness, kind of like pneumonia. It's nothing like pneumonia if you don't have any fluid in your damn lungs. So they looking at all these pictures from, you know, the people that got infected.
Right.
I want to know how they got a virus and they don't have any fluid in their lungs. On top of that, they said, oh, well, we had to figure out how to do a special testing. Well, y'all figured out that test mighty damn fast then. That don't make no sense. But anyway, y'all can go look all that stuff up on your own, as far as like 5G, the millimeters and sub-millimeter frequency that it, you know, travels at, and see if that's good for your health or not. See if that causes a respiratory illness. And then you might start to unravel, you know, part of this whole mystery about coronavirus. I'll say, you know, wash your hands, all that. Don't be an idiot. If you got hydrogen peroxide at home, wash your hands with that. You understand? That will disrupt any virus on the planet.
Wipe down the door.
Wipe down the door with it. You know, dilute it with water even more. But the hydrogen peroxide is going to do something to any virus. It's going to break it down. The same way they got on the back of those Lysol cans, like, you know, kills or whatever human coronavirus.
Right.
That's why, you know. So
Is that better than alcohol? Are there
yeah, alcohol dry your hands out, dry your skin out. You know, it's way more toxic.
Okay.
Yeah, so just use the hydrogen peroxide
And dilute that.
Yeah. Now I'm talking about topically now, everybody.
Right, sure.
I don't want nobody out there, you know, saying
Drinking it.
saying drink hydrogen peroxide with stabilizers in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
hurt
Be
yourself.
clear,
Yeah.
Clarify yourself, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, like I said, and a lot of this information, if not more, well, shit, it is more. That's in the how2godmarketplace.com. That's in our book, and they can figure out, you know, how to detox their life with my wife's book, Detox Your Life. And then we just got others. We got cookbooks in there, you know, for transitioning into this indigenous food science we was talking about. So, you know, everybody can learn how to eat. We got a meal plan thing coming out soon too. So
Okay, great. How can everybody reach out to you guys through social media?
Senna Sheberry is my handle or whatever on Facebook. Quilla Sheberry. Does it say Sheberry on yours? Or Nina Amaru?
Yeah, they can look up Quilla Nina Amaru, and that's Quilla, and Nina Nina, and Amaru Amaru.
Yeah, and then we got the Eschalation company page on Facebook and on what, Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Eschalation. That's IXCHELATION. And then, of course, like I said, Eschalation.com. My wife spoke about the yoni steam or the vaginal steam stuff earlier. Y'all don't have to be present to capitalize on, you know, getting the vaginal steaming. We can, you know, mail those products to you. We it's an online doctor's office, basically. So, you know, we got a brick and mortar and everything, but in order for people to get diagnosed, they don't have to be present. You know, like my wife a beast with the whole understanding the different systems of the body. So with the intake form that somebody fill out, she'll be able to tell you what's wrong and, you know, how to go about remedying it. If y'all need some assistance from us as far as, you know, our different elixirs that we provide, then we capable of doing that too and mailing it out to you. So
Once again, we appreciate you guys coming about and sharing this valuable information with us. And hopefully somebody out there will gain something out of it and share it with somebody, and, you know, so we can all just live a better, healthy, and more functional life. You know,
appreciate it,
these are trying times right now, and, you know, people are a little shooken up about this virus thing. You know, and me and you, brother, we talked about, you know, how some people are lax about it and others are real paranoid, and anxiety hits and stuff like that, and so we just want everybody to kind of have a better understanding of what's going on around them and what they can do for themselves, you know, during these times and stuff like that.
And one thing, Mike, that everyone can do and that is to try to limit the amount of anxiety
Yes.
Yes.
that they internalize. We've heard that. I've heard it all my life. So and so worried themselves to death.
Death.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
I mean?
actually
Yes.
happens.
So those things that that you can't control, you got to learn how to get your mind situated to move that out of your way. That becomes something that snags you,
That's right.
and you
does.
begin to carry that around with you. And eventually, even if you're in good health, your mind's gonna make your body sick.
Definitely.
You know, so that's
Oh.
one thing.
I want to say, sorry, Brother Rob.
Go ahead, bro.
I know we got limited time, so I want to say this real quick. My suggestion, honestly, I don't care how much money you got, is to try to limit how many times a day you about to eat, for real. For two reasons, though. It's not just to save how much food you have, you know, in your pantry, because, you know, I think everybody might be anticipating we might have a lack of food soon, you know, regardless of why. That part's real. So the other part is the more you eat, or the more frequently you eat, there we go, the more you're actually disturbing your body's process of regeneration. So if you just eat one time a day, you know, you'll be much better off than you eating breakfast, break fast, you know, lunch, and then dinner. And people got snacks in between. Y'all eat too damn much anyway. You know, like it's, you know, we eat too damn much. And then we eat the wrong food on top of it being too damn much. So, you know, it'll be beneficial.
And you know what a lot of people don't realize? They say, well, I'm not really going to eat. I'm just going to snack.
Yeah.
Without understanding that when you put that in your mouth, that's why they suggest you don't chew gum all the time.
Yeah.
Because what happens, your body thinks it's going to digest something, and you don't have anything that you're giving it.
Yeah.
If whether it's a chip or whether it's a meal, it goes into the digestive process anyway. So then it goes to work.
Right.
Yeah. So you keep your body working all day just by, you know, a chip here
Definitely.
and a thing there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, survival tips. If y'all got beans in the house, like lentils or something, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they sprout unless they irritated. They didn't bombarded half of this crap with radiation. But if you got beans or anything that'll sprout at home right now, hey, we can't be picky. Soak them and then let them sprout. You know, if you got to look up on Google how to sprout them, that's cool too. Just, you know, soak them, because that's gonna be more beneficial for you than just, you know, sitting there cooking the bean, and then you need some nutrition out of it.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, once again, thank you again, Senna and Quilla, for coming out and sharing your information with us.
Thank you,
Brother
for
Rob,
having us.
thank you for being our special co-host today.
Thank you
You
for
did a wonderful
inviting me.
job.
I was willing to sit on the backside.
Yeah, I know.
Shit, right, Jim?
No, he told me, you part of this.
Yeah, I had to put him out there, yo.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, this has been another episode of Everyday Convos. Hopefully we could catch us once again. Until then, y'all be safe out there, people.
Peace.
All right.
Peace.
See ya.